Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another Redstone video, and today I'm getting a little bit worried because I've just realised that 2015 is almost come to an end and it feels like it's only just started. I think that's just part of getting old, you know, years seem to travel by extremely quickly these days, but I thought today we could take a look at some of my favourite contraptions that I uploaded during this year. But before we begin, I just want to mention that 2015 has been a fantastic year for me as a YouTuber. It's gone incredibly well. You guys have shown a huge amount of support over that time, and I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who has watched my videos, and who has been extremely pleasant down in the comments section. But anyway, let's crack on, and I'll show you my redstone contraptions. Now, I just want to say these aren't in any particular order. These are just my 10 favourite contraptions of the year, and we're going to be starting things off with a relatively recent one. This one right here is the Tiny Temple of Notch, based on one of my favourite redstone contraptions of all time by FE Disco. Then it was built on the Hermitcraft server, then it was turned into the Temple of Santa. I absolutely love this thing, it was a brilliant video, and I'm also pretty proud of how compact I managed to make all of the redstone. Next up, we have got this little thing. This is the 9x9 piston house, which was the first piston house I ever created on this channel. Now, when I uploaded that video, I was like, maybe people will enjoy this idea, maybe people will like this concept, and it turns out they really did. The reaction to it was massively positive. All it is just a little house filled with redstone contraptions and various different bits and pieces, and people seem to absolutely love them. So then I started uploading a bunch of them, then people got a little bit bored of them, but for a brief moment, they were definitely one of the biggest things on my channel, with one of them getting 1.5 million views in just under 5 months, which I would say is really quite impressive. Now we have one of the slightly more silly contraptions of 2015. This is the YouTube comment generator, and it's essentially a randomized system that generates a comment based on a set structure. We've got two different trees. We've got the positive tree and the negative tree, and if we take a look down at the bottom here, you can see that we have got your videos are pure class, and I think you are good fun. So that's a positive one, but if we take a look over here, we've got some examples of different ones. For example, your videos are worse than death, and I think you are an insult to all humans. So yeah, swing some roundabouts, I guess. For a very brief period in Minecraft 1.9, this was one of the coolest contraptions in the game. Splash potions of water had been added, and if you threw them onto fire, they would create a tiny slither of water. Now what this contraption would do would turn that tiny slither of water into a full-on flowing stream, allowing you to get water in the nether. Going right the way back to the early days of 2015 right here, this was one of my more creative builds. This is known as the minecart loop-the-loop. If we just chuck down a minecart right here and hop inside, as you can see, we go up and round it using the slime blocks right here, and I absolutely love this contraption. I can't wait to use it at some point on Hermitcraft. I just really need to build myself a roller coaster. Everybody absolutely loves lasers, okay? It's just a fact of life. Lasers are really quite awesome, so I'm very happy that I managed to create some redstone contraptions this year that involve lasers as an element. These are a bunch of beacons that have been coloured red, and as you can see, if we walk over these pistons right here, they flash, and that actually gives a redstone output, allowing you to hook that up to some form of alarm system, or some form of piston trap or something like that, giving you essentially a laser security system, which is definitely one of the coolest things that I've ever said in a redstone video. Now for some reason, I find this build absolutely hilarious, and a really fun fact about this one is it actually front-paged on the Minecraft subreddit, which doesn't happen particularly often, but this is known as the crowd goes wild machine. As you can see when we hit this button right here, the crowd goes wild, they all start bouncing up and down, and it all looks really quite exciting, and I've been looking for so long to try and find a use for all of this, but as you can see in some of the recent Minecraft updates, there have been some slight changes, and it looks like the mechanics don't work quite as well anymore. Such a shame, because I absolutely love this thing. As you guys know, I'm a bit of a sucker for Minecraft security systems, and this one is incredibly old school. This is known as the piston moat. As you can see, this is our floor level here, and the same thing would be on the other side, and when we flick this lever, all of these blocks drop down, revealing a gigantic moat. Now, as far as security systems go, it's not the most secure, is it? I mean, it's not going to kill the player, and it's probably not going to deter them for too long, but I still think this thing is brilliant. In front of me is probably one of the most secure combination locks I've ever created in Minecraft. This thing had a stupid number of combinations, can't remember the exact number, but I remember it being very difficult to pronounce indeed, and if I were to write it out with all of the zeros, it would take me quite a long time, and it would take an even longer time to try and solve it through brute force. It essentially is built up of various different combination locks that I've done in the past, and they all come together to create one big combination lock that's pretty much impossible to crack. And for the final build of today's video, this is something that I wanted to do for absolutely ages. This is the ever-changing maze, also known as the piston labyrinth. What we've got here is a bunch of different options, and then occasionally the redstone will fire, and as you can see, your options suddenly change. Some doors open up, some doors close away, and it's extremely difficult to solve. but I love it. So there we go, guys. Those are my favourite builds that I have uploaded in 2015. Now, I'm sure you guys have some slightly different opinions. Perhaps you have some redstone contraptions that I've done that you think are better than the ones that I featured in today's video. So if that is the case, let me know down in the comments section, because I'd love to hear which ones you specifically enjoyed so I can make more of those in the near future, I guess. But unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.